Uh, yeah. Hey there, coming in. Good to see you. Tyler Douthit coming at you live on a Friday afternoon. I'll be doing some talking about what I want to talk about. Really, mostly everything's going to be any kind of Q&A, anything about me, what it is I do. If you want my opinion on anything, and until I get those questions coming in, hey there, bet I bust live, I think, coming in live. And so I'm Tyler Douthit. I'm what I think is the largest earbud seller on Amazon, in a rapidly growing space as well, selling earbuds directly to schools. Make most of the money with Amazon coming in. Also do some real estate transactions, intellectual property acquisitions, which has treated me pretty well. So I'd be happy to answer any kind of questions. I know a decent amount about a lot of things, any kind of personal finance, investing, selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, e-commerce transactions, what else? Things like that. Be happy to answer any question anybody has about really anything that I know something about. Hey there, Easton. Just coming in. So please, any question you have, I'll be happy to answer it in the order in which it shows up on the screen here. So please feel free to use your little thumbs and type it on in. In the meantime, until that comes in, I'll just kind of give my spiel. Sell on Amazon, biggest earbud seller on there. Also sell directly to schools and some other industries as well, like to libraries. Sell maybe 50,000 earbuds a week. Been kind of rapidly growing as far as how many move through. I'm selling more on QandA through QandA for Amazon Prime, as well as their fulfillment network there. Picking up a lot of customers there, sell a lot directly to schools, and I'm a big fan of using the fulfillment network with Amazon to ship things off because they get those amazingly dirt cheap rates for shipping, so it makes it easier a lot of times to fulfill orders with the kind of stuff they get. So that's a lot of my spiel, so please, any questions and answers here, go ahead and chime in. Got a quiet group today, maybe we'll start easier. Where can I buy the earbuds? It's sold under the brand TFD Supplies. Like Tom, Frank, David, TFD Supplies. You can find it at tfdsupplies.com. You can look at TFD Supplies on Amazon, and you can find the earbuds all there. It is very much geared towards people that need a lot of them. They're sold in packs of 100. So if you're looking to buy one pair, I'm really not your person. But I really cater towards the bulk market, people that need a lot, schools, airlines, libraries, things like that, that might need hundreds or thousands of them versus one or two. But it's sold under the brand TFD Supplies. Hey, they're at Catherine GMC. So that's where you can buy them. And that was kind of a reverse engineered story because I was selling them a lot on Amazon and realized that schools were one of the largest buyers of them. So then I started proactively targeting schools directly for sales, and that kind of just really exploded further from there. Hey, Farmerville 216, good to see you. So that's kind of what happened there. So please, any further questions, feel free to chime in. I'll hit them in the order in which they show up. So please feel free to type anything in. In the meantime, I'll kind of do my, so you can see Ben behind me right there. He does a lot of the packing around here. Earbuds come in and out a lot. As well as he's working on ice bags right now, sell those as well. Decent size following on social media right now, about 32,000 followers amongst all the social media channels combined. So it's not as many. It's about 10,000 on Facebook, 7,000 Instagram, maybe 7,000 Twitter, maybe 7,000 LinkedIn. Hey there, Carlos. So it's growing, but it takes time. And I do a series of car talks, me talking in cars. You can look up Car Talk on YouTube or on my Facebook page, any of them. Thoughts on different topics. Also do a daily vlog, the TD Grind, my initials, Tyler Douthit, the TD Grind, which I post every night about documenting my journey as an entrepreneur, businessman, husband, father, the whole deal. Balance it all as best I can. Succeed sometimes, fail others, and just keep on going with the job there. So if anybody got any questions, it's a quiet group today, but please feel free to join in. I was thinking Friday afternoon, people be ready to cut loose. Maybe you're on the way to the bars, or where's everybody from? Anybody from outside the USA? I got someone that follows and comments a lot from South Africa. Anything where you're from would be interesting to see. I'm guessing one might be a Farmerville maybe. Who knows with the rest? But please feel free to chime in with any questions, personal finance, investing, what I think might happen in the future. I'd love to talk about like driverless cars or Amazon, anything like that. any particular thing. Scotland, hey there. Yeah, let's see. This is my ignorance. What is Braveheart? That's Scotland, right? Braveheart?
Braveheart?
One of my favorite movies. I feel like an idiot right now, but I know William Wallace, right? Yeah, he wasn't. Or I'm saying the wrong name, and you're gonna hate me because he's not Scottish,
I've never
and I'm
seen
gonna be a
Braveheart.
stupid American that doesn't know that. But either way, hello to you in Scotland. You guys got really fun accents, and I bet I sound like a really plain person without any fun accent like that. Yeah. So Scotland, do you have anybody got anything to chime in here? People coming and going. Normally, I mean, I can ramble, but people, well, and now I think everybody's gone right now.
Everyone's gone?
Yeah.
Where does that say?
Up there it shows, see, it says live, and then it'll show the number of viewers. See,
Hey,
and that tends to update first before up. You never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, maybe I'll ramble up. One of my favorite things coming up is driverless cars and how they're really gonna affect people in ways they haven't even begun to realize yet, because people forget 100 years ago cars changed so many things about what we know about life, and that's going to happen again in the next 5 or probably maybe more like 10 years. Hard to say a little bit. Technology is mostly ironed out as it is already. A lot of it's legal stuff and people trusting them. That's right, they will change the world. I mean, think about how, let's see, what do we do in the average day? Go to work. You could work farther away because you could sleep on the way there. You could surf your phone. You could take a nap. You could read a book. You could work your side hustle, your side job on the way to work.
Iron your clothes on the way to work.
Iron your clothes. Ben chimed in. Yeah, iron your clothes. The way you get to work, you might not even own a car. They might just either hey, Amazon, send a car to my house in 5 minutes, or they already know when you leave for work. You hop in the car, they take you to work, drop you off at the door. You don't have to park anymore, just door-to-door service like that.
If you have Amazon Prime, it'll get there in 2 days.
That's right. Yeah. Without thinking about it, end up at your place, then same deal afterwards. They know when you get off work, or you just touch a button on your phone, car pops up, drives you to the bar. Drinking and driving no longer a problem, because you'll no longer have to actually drive a car. You might end up at the wrong place. You're too drunk to figure out where to go, but you'll get there safely. Texting and driving no longer a problem. It's all going to be by voice, so you could text all day long, or you could easily use your phone to text. Vacations, people are going to use hotels less, because you could easily, would you spend $100 or $200 a night to stay in a hotel, or would you drive all night, sleep in the car, and save a hotel bill and show up refreshed in the morning at your destination? Gas stations, who will not be able to, those will be changed ultimately, whether it's a gas or electric, whatever the case may be. People are going to stop less places. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, vacations that people, yeah, how far people live from work. The parking industry, because people won't need parking in the same way. It'll all be door-to-door service. The car goes and parks itself, comes back to you when it's time to go. So that'll be all changed. I mean, I think it'll probably help the parking industry, because there might be less dings and dents if they're all better cars maybe. But that's going to change it. I mean, valet service will probably evaporate overnight.
Do you see any potential cons?
Any potential cons? I think trust. I think trust is going to be hard for not even just older people, but most people, because I kind of feel there's a lot of nuances to driving, and it's not something you can easily learn to trust when you have your family in a car and you're navigating through traffic and things like that. But I think eventually it's going to be what everybody has. I mean, my kids, when they're my age, are not going to drive cars anymore, and it's going to take a while. And there's so many millions of cars on the road that the driver drives them, so it's going to take a long time for those to phase out. But it's going to happen.
You see traffic jams being
they'll still be there, because I think there'll still be car problems. But I think so many traffic jams are caused by traffic volume or accidents, and I think the accidents will be much lessened by better driving with cameras and braking, and picture like a zipper. Cars zip back and forth instead of slowing down to turn and look at somebody with an accident. They'll just all zipper in, keep going. So commute times will probably be shortened, because I think there will be far fewer accidents. And I think cars themselves will probably change sizes and shapes and what they do in there, because you might not need them in the same way. Probably just different cars, like small, medium, large, based on what you need, will show up at your doorstep. If you need a big one for a family, just a small one for you. And as those cars are smaller, you can fit more on the road if it's just a one-person thing going along the way. And so I think people misunderestimate how that's not the right word. People underestimate what is going to happen because it's going to change the world, and I think in a really positive way.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen, and they say the technology's there, and it's just going to take time for mostly the laws, like people's trust level, trusting the technology, and the laws, because a lot of states, I don't know about foreign stuff like Scotland, but in the States, I think the law is you have to be in the driver's seat, even if the car is driving itself or not, which is something. So it's not the same way.
There's always going to be the manual override.
Maybe, probably.
You'd think so.
They'll
I don't
probably
know. I
manual.
don't know if I would feel comfortable getting in a car without
That's a good
manual
point.
override.
First of all, thank you for saying I'm a hustler. I think, yeah, I do like the hustle. I will keep it up. Thank you for that. Easton, I kind of think we'd be bad if they could be hacked. Yeah, that is true. With any technology, and it's going to be, I'm sure, super connected, there is always the hacking thing. I guess what they steal people, like abduction, I guess. That's about the really only, off the top of my head,
I can see that
thing
being a
that could be a downside. But given that that's such a severe consequence, they would at least have efforts to make sure that doesn't happen. And you probably know where it is you were going, like by looking out a window of some kind. So it's not like you would be totally surprised by it.
Will you always have power of being able to go where you want to go?
That's a good question. I don't know. I imagine like a manual override thing if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because if there isn't a
Maybe.
manual override and you don't own the car, could there be set things in place in the car that prohibit you from going certain places?
Like you're not allowed to go certain places.
I can see somebody may not want you to take their $20,000 car out to the middle of nowhere for whatever reason. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah, if there's somewhere you couldn't go, or might be easier to enforce things like trying to not go into bad areas of town. Who knows?
Would that be like packages? Like if it's not your car, like they'll probably be like, well, you got to get the gold package if you want to go 200,000 miles or something like that. You know, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting on how they'll operate that.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, because I think Ben said something the other day about like car ownership, and I think it's probably true. I think especially as the driverless technology evolves, I think car ownership in general is going to be shifted around because there won't be as much of a need to have a car. Because a big part of having a car is you can leave right away when you need to go somewhere, but most people have at least a 5 or 10 minute notice of when they're going to leave, and that could be greatly lessened. And then, yeah, it's an interesting point. Anything else? I'd love to answer any kind. I've been kind of rambling about this stuff for a while. Hey there, Debug and 2GZ. So I'd be happy to answer any kind of questions. Kind of talking about now what really interests me, but I would very much like to answer any kind of questions that any of you have. Provide some kind of value. Content the podcast. That's an interesting one too, just because it comes up. I think podcasting is having a serious resurgence, and it's only going to go sky high in the next several years as people realize how much of a thing you can, because you can listen to a podcast while you're doing something else, something like this, some kind of video content. You can't really work at the same time as doing watching a video, consuming that content, but you can work with a podcast in the background. And I think people are going to realize that, because time is the ultimate asset, and if you can find more way to have more time or to multitask in a more efficient way, is only going to yield serious results. And while video is popular now and will be for a long time, I think the sound component is underappreciated, because it's only gonna go up from there, because you can only do that. Like right now, like this later on, and pretty much all my content, you can find free tools online to scrap the audio from like a YouTube video, so you can do that. And then I use that on the SoundCloud, my podcast on there to upload the audio. It's also on iTunes. You can look up Tyler Douthit on SoundCloud or on iTunes to hear any of this in audio form. So while you're running in the car, at work, whatever you want to do, you can consume any of the content if you want to. And even if it's not me, it's a very efficient way to get information. Anybody got anything further to join in? Let's see, you got a few minutes here. Ben calls it in a couple minutes. In case you guys don't know, this is Ben over here. One of my wife's 4 brothers, and does a lot of work with me here. Uses those overinflated muscles to do a lot of the heavy lifting of the boxes, packing and shipping and things like that. So please, any kind of questions, be happy to answer anything. Hasn't been a whole whole lot of questions. Mostly we've just been rambling today. Friday afternoon kind of mindset. By the end of the week, kind of get beat down, and it's hard to stay as motivated on a Friday afternoon. Seemed like a good option. I don't, it doesn't say which one's viewing, but I'd be happy to answer any kind of question. Please type it right there in the bottom, and be happy to answer any kind of question. Personal finance, e-commerce, Amazon, eBay, selling online. What else? My thoughts on anything I know anything about. I'd be happy to answer. If not, might call it here in a minute. Probably time for maybe one or two more questions, if anybody. So if you're thinking about one, hey there, Lula. I'm not sure I can say that. What was your opinion on podcasts? Yeah, my opinion on podcasts is I think it had kind of like an early run, like early mid 2000s, and I think it kind of went down as video became so popular and easy to transmit. But I think in the next 5 to 10 years, podcasts are really gonna surge up, because it gives you the ability to multitask much more so than video does. You're exercising, you're in the car, you're working, you're doing anything, kind of like the radio was for decades and still is. You can do something else, like you can work at your desk at your job and listen to a podcast in the background and not get in trouble by your boss. If they walk in and you're looking at this ugly mug on somebody's face all day, then it's probably going to get you in trouble. So I think podcasting is only going up, and I think especially now because like I said, you can do a YouTube video and you can scrape the audio out with free tools online to get an MP3 and upload into SoundCloud, which is also free. So the technology is all there really easily. People can use their phones. You can do anything to get it there, and they have free options available to get big enough to start paying for stuff. I think podcasting is only going up. Let's see, Will and Clark, what's up? Nothing much. What's up with you? Friday afternoon. So please, any further questions? What do you think it's profitable in your opinion? That's hard because I think it is a quality game, and your word's going to spread better the better you are. Profitable, probably. I can only see a couple ways to profitability. One is some kind of sponsor, not unlike any kind of TV thing now where they have commercials, or like a drive time radio where some mattress store pays for that segment. I mean, but to get that you have to have a big enough audience to be able to get that, which is not easy but doable. Let's see, what else? Profitable ways to podcasting. If you, along those same lines, if you have your own line of things that you might be selling, maybe you were in a certain industry, the mattress industry, for example, and if you are able to grow a following amongst those industry people, you could probably turn that, as you got a loyal, dedicated following that hopefully gets larger over time. You could harness that into some sort of business moves to help you get better. Let's see what else. And for me, kind of like I do the personal brand all for free. All it really does is cost money and time. I've never asked for anything for any kind of thing. I don't sell any course or any kind of PDF or anything like that. It's all 100% free. But I hope to use the podcast because people that are on TV and movie and interviews and all these things, they got asked for a reason because they have some name made for them, which is able to then work that against future endeavors and gigs and attention. Will a website help as well? I would. I mean, websites are relatively inexpensive to set up. You could have $1 a month and a domain. You could probably have a website set up for $30 a year. So pretty inexpensive.
Do people go to websites anymore?
They do, yeah. Ben asked if people go to websites anymore. I think people do go to websites. It's become less as everything is all on these social networks. So much is achievable and doable on there, but I think people still do go to websites. I mean, let me ask you, Ben, you like sports? You ever go to like MLB.com or like the Cubs,
When
Cubs
it comes
website?
to like if I'm any kind of info I need, I'll go straight to the
Straight to the source.
website.
And
It's
there's
more
your
like an information game.
Information is a game. The attention. All right, I got one more question. Anybody? Ben's even staying late today. Looks like it's past his clock out time, but this is not exactly hard work.
No.
How much do you make a year? Wow, it's an extremely personal question. Probably not going to divulge that right now. I can tell you, business is doing really well. My wife stays home. I have one employee. I work from home. Maybe someday. Yeah, I think about that because I try to be as transparent as possible. Well, that's one of those things. It's hard to, not quite comfortable enough talking about that. Sorry, but maybe eventually. Jeez, lol. Yeah, I don't know if that's regarding if that's to me or to Arbor 987. I'm curious. Yeah, content the podcast. Was your G's aimed at me or at Arbor 987?
We will never know.
I think they're still there.
If I had to guess, it was probably aimed at the other person.
Maybe. Awkward silence. At the question.
Nah, nailed it.
I was curious.
I had a
Okay.
feeling it was the question.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for giving your time, your attention. Well, I'll interrupt that. Yeah, it's a good point. I do respect that. If I give good advice, you need to know how successful you really are. What's a good way? I don't know. Ben, you know what goes on here. How would you assess how successful I am? You're on the spot.
Well, I mean, you're an entrepreneur who works from home. You have an employee. You have stock, inventory, plenty. I mean, I would say that you are definitely off the ground. You're going somewhere. I mean,
good answer. All right. Maybe eventually. Maybe Arbor, why don't you DM me and we could talk more about it, kind of off the scene. If one thing one-on-one versus to anybody, because this is gonna live online forever.
Or you can just go to his website and see what he has.
That's true. But please feel free to, you can use email me, Tyler@tylerdouthat.com, or you can DM through here and I'll take a look there. You said Bet I Bust Live, have a question. It'll be the last one and I will, thank you, my pleasure. Bet Bust Live, what is your question? Got time for one more? Let's see. Are you available to talk to? Yeah, if you're looking to have like some kind of guest speaker, I'm guessing on Content the Podcast. Yeah, you can also please DM me. You can do it through Instagram, the DM, or again, Tyler@tylerdouthat.com. How do you have models make money on Instagram? Instagram, very visual, very picture-based, so let's just call it how it is. Attractive people have a much better chance of a big following on Instagram. It's just how it goes.
But the traffic for that, though, is getting crazy.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
And I guess like anything else, you can build a personal brand on your looks, because the people that end up getting on magazine covers and like paid model jobs are going to be sometimes from how you get discovered. But if you have 500,000 followers on Instagram, it's going to be hard to ignore that, and you can leverage that, because most anybody will answer a DM or an email from someone with enough of a presence. So if you are attractive enough and have, I think photography is probably a big part of that. But if you can harness those looks into a large following, you could then harness that to get in touch with people, because they'll listen if you got a big enough following, because they want someone with numbers, because that's only going to help them be able to pay you more.
I would say probably the models on Instagram usually have a body of work outside of Instagram.
You think so?
That's how, that's people search for them, they find them, but you got to know what to search in order to find them.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but usually they have a body of work outside of Instagram.
All right, well, so contact the podcast, Arbor987. If you're still there, please feel free to DM me right through here and I'll answer. Or you can email Tyler@tylerdouthat.com. How you know the real difference between real followers and paid? I will check out on that. That one's interesting. You have to look at the kind of engagement ratios. Like if you post a picture and have 50,000 followers and get 12 likes, you know something's wrong. There's going to be, it varies based on how dedicated the following is, but you will see a pattern, because if it's all fake accounts, they're not going to comment or like or things on a lot of posts. So that's something to think about. The comment and the engagement rates would dictate very much how real and how paid it is. On that note, I have to go. Please, everyone, thank you for following. Feel free to leave a comment, share, like anything on any channel at any time. I will respond to every single one, and thank you very much for watching today.